Hello everyone, it's Kay here, and I'm here with what I'm calling part 2 of the Easy Stack the Deck album. The first album I actually showed the completed base of the album wrapped up in the paper with the pages in, all ready to decorate, and I thought, well, I can't really leave it there. I need to come back now and show you how I've put this together, just in the hope that it will inspire you to try the album. I had some very positive feedback from people, which I thank you very much for. A couple of ladies actually saying that they were planning to give this album a try, so if I've achieved that, then I feel I've done a good job. But as I say, I wanted to come back and show you how the album has moved along, and this is the front cover of the album, which I'll lift up so that you can see the floral display. Just 2 leaves, a little bit of this lovely silky pearl trim, which I've had in my stack a long time, some of the really tiny blossoms from Wild Orchid Crafts, and I've bought these little crystal acrylic doodads a long time ago, and they're actually beads, but they fit very well into this particular theme. This is the spine. Again, I've just used a little bit of a lace trim which I've cut around. I've put some tiny little silver sticky flat back things onto the precious points of the motif. It's all a bit rugged. I'm not looking for perfection. It's handmade, but it does serve a purpose. And the back, as you can see, is completely plain. I have inked the edges with Distress ink, and it's the blue denim perhaps, I really don't recall, but it's in keeping with the papers that I've used. And I have put on these bronze effect corners. I like them. They're very effective. They hide a multitude of sins, and as I said in my first album showing how to make the base of the album, if you have trouble with corners, it doesn't have to be the end of the project. You just find a way to cover them. So that's the front. Before I go any further, I want to show you the paper that I chose to decorate the album with, and it's actually this one, Vintage Colours Nature, which I purchased in the range. And the good thing about this is it is 200 GSM, so it can only add to the overall finish of your album. And you see by looking either side of the central panel there the design of the papers that are within the pad, and it is 15 by 30, which means one full sheet actually covered the front of the album. And then I went inside, which I'll show you very shortly, and cut up pages just to cover the internal pages of the album. It really is ideal for this kind of thing, and I think it was £2.99. Not an expensive paper pad at all. I don't know if the range still do these pads. I actually purchased it last year alongside a couple of other ones, but they are huge value. Do not be put off by the size of the print and so on inside, because when it's cut down it will fit any purpose that you would care to use it for. So that's the papers. I'll just give you a quick run through of the album, and you can see how very easy these are once you've got that base in place to decorate. And the other thing I used here is the family setting, and I just used glossy accents on that to make it jump off the page. And this is because it is going out to someone, and I didn't want to embellish or do too much to it, and I'm hoping that the lady will want to use it for her family photos. So you open up, and immediately inside is half of a doily, the paper again, which speaks for itself, and a lovely belly band here that can be utilised for memorabilia or extra bits and pieces that you just want to keep in hand for a certain occasion. Page 2, and it's more of the same. It doesn't have to be overly done, it can just be what you want it to be. That's part of creating your own kind of album. But the papers are really, really lovely. As you can see, they fit together really, really well, and with a little bit of doily it just gives it that extra lift. There's still plenty of room there to put a photograph on the page if that was required. And again, with this page, very, very basic, very, very simple. This page I've just put a tiny bit of trim down through just to break up the plainness, and again it would accommodate 2 smaller photographs or a large photograph quite happily. There's a belly band this way going in the other direction. Again, it works. It doesn't have to be utilised as a belly band. It could just be a page separator, and you could use that to pin on paper clips, decorative paper clips or something of that nature. And again, 2 photographs quite easily. The next page I did 2 of the faux corners for a little bit of secret jotting. They are both tuck spots. If I can find a bit of card to show you. One moment. So you can tuck into the bottom one there, and you can also tuck into the top one there. So it keeps, again, little bits of memorabilia or special little jottings that you might want to keep and utilise for whatever else is used within the album. Another relatively plain page, and on this side I've just left a white pocket, which isn't untoward, and again you can tuck things inside there. It's quite a deep pocket, very, very easy to do. You just measure up the length of your page, score 1/4 inch on 3 sides, mitre the corners, fold them up and burnish them. Burnish all your score lines and then add your adhesive, and that makes a superb pocket on any page. And you just, again, organise it to the size that suits you. I don't know, I might put that on there. It looks quite good. We'll see. But to all intents and purposes, I just wanted to show you the 99% finished album here. I've utilised another doily, another bit of lace here. Again, ideal. You can journal on it, you can put photographs on it, it's entirely up to you. And the other side of that page, another little pocket facing in the other direction here, which is more than enough for the pages, as they are, if you recall, only 6 by 4. I've actually trimmed these down because they were too large for the cover, and I guess I've taken off about 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch. I really, no, near 1/4 inch I think, and that just let them sit within the pages really, really nicely. Another plain page here, and then I've made a tiny little waterfall here using 4 3x3 envelopes, and they just lift back like this, and then I've kept the envelopes open so that extra photographs perhaps or whatever is required can be placed in there and kept safely. You could put little written notes in there that perhaps you wouldn't want anyone else to see, but it's all there, everything you would find in a larger album. And actually this has been such a treat to do because it is smaller and it's come together really, really nicely. So I'm hoping the recipient will be pleased to have this in their little hands. So I hope that's, as I say, I hope that's been an inspiration to you. They are really, really so straightforward to do. I haven't done a closure on this one because it does appear to be quite happy in its own little skin. I might just put a little tiny little something on the front. I don't know yet. It probably does need a little something, but there is oodles and oodles of room there to add more to the album and make it a lot more chunky, from tags to photographs to whatever you might like to put into it. But this stack the deck system done in this manner with your pages already in situ is just a lovely thing to be doing. I will go on to make more of these, I'm sure. So I hope you've found it informative, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing the album virtually completed. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me, everyone. I do appreciate it. Happy crafting and take care for now. Bye bye.